Why do magicians become magicians? And what is it about magic they find so fascinating? Let's find out. Hello, I'm Matthew Lamotte, 3 times magic champion living in Cambridge. I have 2 passions in life, people and magic. And in this video, I'm going to share my love affair with magic and how it's managed to keep me interested for 25 years. 25 years. God, that's depressing. So I absolutely love magic, and I think what magic did early on was give me an outlet to be the centre of attention and gave me this skill that nobody else had and be able to showcase that and impress people and be interesting. And I think it gave me sort of a platform to do that, and also gave me the opportunity to stand in front of people and do some magic, and it made me feel like a star for a moment. But I could also go back to not having to be that person again, and it allowed me to make friends and build relationships and have something to do to introduce myself to people. My first year of sixth form, I kind of used magic to build relationships with people and become known and sort of break the ice. Like it's a good way of interacting with people without having to actually interact with people. You can just do some magic and then conversation and stuff happens from there. And I found that I was more comfortable performing for people than just sort of starting up conversations randomly. I started to kind of realise that I needed to push myself to learn other skills in life, because I can't just, rely on this fallback of magic. It served me so well going throughout my life up until that point, but I felt like there was a change in the wind and I wanted something more. And I felt that I wanted people to know me for Matthew, and then the magic was just one facet of who I am. And even up till today, like when I meet somebody for the first time, I don't want them to know I'm a magician. So after I qualified as a sports therapist, I didn't really know what to do next. I was doing the occasional close-up magic gig at a wedding or at a private event, something like that. And then I saw this advert for the School of Busking being run by a guy called Mario Morris, who's now a very good friend of mine. And it promised that you could take an act and they'll turn it into a street show, and then you could start earning money performing on the streets. And I thought, that sounds amazing. Let's go and do that. So I took all the money I had. I went up to Wales to study at the School of Busking for 3 days. I came back. I started street performing 2 weeks after that course, and I earned all my money back. And I thought, this is the best thing ever. I can go out into Cambridge, set up my little table and start doing magic for people. They were tipping me money, having good fun, and it was a really great lifestyle. I was pretty much a full-time street performer for about 3 years of my life. I owe an awful lot of what happened after street performing to street performing, because that skill, having that skill set and going out onto the streets and gathering a crowd that didn't know they were going to watch a show that day, and turning them into an audience, one sort of unit, and then having them tip you and pay you money at the end for something they didn't even know they were going to watch. That is a real skill in itself. It's people management, staying sharp and on your toes. It's being reactive to certain things that happen in the show and unpredictable events that happen in the show. It gave me that skill set, but it also gave me the freedom to know that I could go to almost anywhere in the world and perform my show and earn a living. It was a mindset shift of just realising that I can go anywhere I like and do this show and earn money, and I don't need to worry about anything else. I would never have to get a proper job doing anything else, because I can make money, I can do this for a living. But the skills that I picked up from that then led on to me working on cruise ships around the Baltic Sea. I then went on to Spain and performed at the House of Illusion in Salou for a summer season. I was doing close-up magic street shows, and I was in the Illusion show as well for that particular venue, and it was really good fun. Another reason I love magic is because it's a creative outlet for me. I can come up with a routine or a piece of magic and write a script about something that's on my mind in that moment, or something that I can visualise an audience seeing and go, that would be cool. I really want to do that. I want to make people feel like this, or I want to give people this experience. I mean, that's really exciting, and I really love being able to do that. And because ultimately magic gives me the ability to give others an experience that they can't get anywhere else. It's something so special and so unique that it's just invaluable, and I absolutely love that part of magic, being able to create something which somebody else is eventually going to experience, and then leave them with that memory or that story they're going to pass on to their friends or family. Yeah, that's a really special thing. I love that. Magic can also be a highly intellectual pursuit, because there are so many facets to magic. There's the psychological side, there's the people management side, there's the dexterity side, there's the creative side. There are so many different things which intertwine with each other to create this finished product. So what the audience are experiencing is a piece of magic, but they don't realise that there's so many things have gone into this one moment to create that moment for them. And I really love that part of it. It's unseen. Nobody sees that part of magic. It's an intellectual exercise in figuring out how to direct people's attention, what story are people going to be telling afterwards, how can I enhance this moment, can I give them a slightly different reaction, can I make them feel something different, or can I make them experience a slightly different thing? And a lot of work goes into that. It's such a big topic, you'd never be able to learn it all, for sure. Like, there's just so much to learn. It's problem solving. It's essentially the ultimate in problem solving for me, is figuring out how to do the impossible and leave that impression on another human being. And I think that love for problem solving comes probably from my dad. My dad and all of his brothers, so my uncles, are very kind of engineer focused, like how things work and why they work and how things can be improved. And we have a problem, let's try and figure out a different way of looking at things, or how can something be, changed or altered slightly. And that's very much like the way all of my uncles think and my dad thinks. That kind of got impressed on me, and magic fits that mold like really well. If you've got that problem solving mindset, then magic is a really, really great place to kind of put all of that energy and all of that mental kind of thinking. Chuck it into that box and it'll throw something useful back. Magic is also highly engaging for me because it's like this intellectual pursuit when you're in performance, and not just for the problem solving, but when you're performing for a group of people, an audience, or even just one other person. I'm having to calculate where they are in their head, or what their next action is going to be, or have to react to a response that maybe I didn't expect, and try and figure people out in real time in order to create the biggest effect possible. That's the coolest thing about magic, is being able to completely change somebody's experience just by making tiny little changes and tweaks in order to affect the ultimate outcome that you're going to have on this one person. It's just really fun, and it's really like challenging and engaging, and it's never the same every single time. Like, there's always a risk that something will change or alter, and I have to react to that, otherwise I fail. And I love being in that space where failure is a possibility, but ultimately being pushed just outside my comfort zone to solve the problem. And magic creates those moments where you're in this space where you're being challenged and something isn't quite going the way you planned, but being able to react in that moment and sort of feeling like really present in the moment and engaged and fully, like, all cogs working to figure out a problem and then solve it real time. There's nothing more exciting than that. I think there's something about being under that kind of a pressure I really love. So magic has kind of created this opportunity for me to grow as an individual and sort of see outside of my box and offer me opportunities which I never would have had otherwise. I've been in some of the most beautiful homes, met the most interesting people, and travelled around the world doing this crazy, beautiful art. It's just been a huge part of my life in personal growth, in my business. It's created opportunities. It is everything that I've done as I can almost link directly as a result of being a magician, and I think that's a lovely thing. I absolutely love it. So why do I love magic? I think it's because I'll never be able to learn it all, so it'd always be a challenge. I can always get that little bit better at it. That's one part of it. I think the other part of it is it's shaped who I am as an individual, so it's given me the opportunity for personal growth and to experience amazing things and grow as a person, and that's been really cool. And I think magic's also given me a passport, like a VIP passport, to see amazing spaces, travel the world, and meet some incredibly interesting people. And magic ultimately has moulded who I am. Magic is a huge part of me, and yeah, I don't know where I'd be without it. So I'd like to say thank you to magic, and to the giants in magic whom I stand on the shoulders of. You let a 6-year-old achieve their dream, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you. Until next time, in a bit.